Well, the good weather continues. It's a beautiful day today. Of course, you've always got the sound of bloody chainsaws everywhere, or whippersnippers or whatever. Can't get away from them. It's actually quiet back at my place. Had a bit of a mishap with my tricycle. The chain came off the front cogs, but I got it sorted. It wasn't too hard to do. It just took a little bit of manipulating, and I just have to be careful where I leave what position I leave the gears in, and whether I make sure I don't pedal backwards when I finish my rides. But it all seems okay. Now I just got to go down to the creek, so don't do that too often. Haven't done it yet with the trike, but we've had about a week of good weather, so it's been great. Big change compared to what we had to put up with in the past. It's improved a lot, and yeah, it looks good around here at the moment because there's we've had so much rain. I guess it's quite green, so it's a beautiful place over there. Some nice buildings. Pretty quiet at the moment. I guess people are still at work, most of them. But yeah, I've just got to go off to the docks, have a check up. Hopefully it's okay. We'll see how it goes. But I'm chafing at the bit to go back to Vietnam. I'm coming up to beautiful Martin Street where I used to live. I used to live around that way, but now I'm a couple of blocks further out in the burbs, which doesn't mean much normally, except the fact that I get inundated with junk mail. This is treated like a different area as far as the junk mail deliveries are concerned. Oh, listen, it's noise. Typical Cairns. That's a motor mowing place over there, so I guess you're going to cop that. But hopefully down the creek it'll be a bit quieter. It'll be nice. It's usually a pleasant place to walk. Yeah, pretty quiet down here at the moment. The school kids aren't out yet. It's about 20 minutes probably to 3, 25 to 3, something like that. So it's still pretty quiet. Everybody's at work. So yeah, it's been quiet so far on the walk on the Lily Creek pathway. It's been good. Bit of colour there too, a few flowers blooming. Wish some of mine would. I don't think they're getting enough sun. They're looking healthy enough. Some of my plants are doing quite well, but I just can't seem to get flowers, and I think sun is essential for that. I'm hoping the green peppers take off. I mean, there's one in a pot. Well, it's about 3 of them actually, 3 different plants, and they're all looking pretty healthy, but I'll have to break them up because they're pretty well sharing the same space. But they're looking good, and much better than when I had that other potting mix when I was using the Brunnings, which I always thought was Bunnings because it was sold at Bunnings. Yeah, got much better results than that. Yeah, took the bike down to the supermarket today, and just after I left home, I took a chunk out of myself. Just lost that pedal seat, just jump or something, and I go around a corner and it just took a bit of skin off. So it's quite painful actually. It doesn't look too bad. So you've got to be careful what you're doing on these things. They can kick you like a horse. So hopefully my journey home will be a little less, be more incident free. That would be quite good. We'll see how we go. We also had some young buck in a really snazzy looking car. Looked very expensive. He wasn't going to give way to me, just absolute arsehole. And there's this a woman, I think she's probably an elderly woman, but it's hard to tell with my eyes, so I think did the same thing in the other road. So people are a bit snarky today for some reason. It's something to do with Thursdays. So that was a bit. The woman in the chemist wasn't particularly nice, or the checkout chick at Coles. So yeah. So you just can't tell. People are funny. We're all moody creatures. Now I reckon down here is definitely screaming out for a pedestrian crossing. It's one of the busiest crossings around. You've got traffic from both directions. It's really bad. So I'm surprised that nothing's been done about it, but it's pretty slack up here. See what I mean? Lots of traffic going across. It's not good. And again, see the other side there as well. Perfect example. So I finally got across here, but it's a bit of work because you've got traffic from both sides, but council's doing nothing about that. I think they're pretty slack up here. And also, there's another thing they could get there, a bit of work done. There's a dip in this particular pathway. This should really be for bicycles as well. I should have a separate bicycle way along here. It's very busy. It's used by a lot of people, as you can see here. But no, it's just a walkway, and it's not a particularly wide one, especially by standards of Cairns. So what we're doing now is going to come up to the to this dip. It's just down here, and the problem with this is if you get a bit of rain, which we've had a stack of recent times, it gets all boggy down here, just here. See, that's the dip I just went through, and it wouldn't be a big job, you'd think, to just build up that piece of the footpath, but nothing's been done. And like I say, this is a very heavily trafficked pedestrian walkway, because it's the shortest way to get to Cairns Central from Parramatta Park, and there's a lot of flats in Parramatta Park, a lot of students, and yeah, not unusual to see stacks of people walking down, just like today. Perfect example. Only thing I haven't seen today is a skateboarder. That would make it the total Cairns cliche. So we'll see how we go here. This is another area where I could do with a bit of traffic management. Again, you can see how busy it is. See? And there's big bloody trucks coming. Oh, it's a bloody nightmare, I tell you. Look, 2 of them in a row. Wow, they're really proving my point today. Yeah, this is typical Cairns. And now I've got to navigate the other side of the road, the opposite way, because the traffic goes along this other road here, but also comes from here, so you don't know where your traffic's going to come from. I was okay this time, but I've been caught that side as well. And to top it off, when it comes to traffic, you've got these damn lights up here, and they're the slowest pedestrian lights on earth. They're just useless. I don't think they've ever gone in the time frame that I've needed. So they're just totally useless. And again, more traffic, even though this should be a quiet time of the day. Look at that, some big mother of a truck coming in. Oh, they got red light, thank God for that. There's the guy with the skateboard. He had to arrive eventually. Got to keep those cliches coming with Cairns. Skateboarders everywhere. Thanks. Oh, I think I'm over the worst of it. Although this is the last little traffic hazard I have on this route. And main hassle is not on this side, but the opposite side. Because there's a bit of foliage there, and people come off the highway, and I'll just zoom around that corner there, just here. From here, of course, it's down that road, it's not a problem. But when they come down from the highway, they can come at a reasonable pace, and you've got a bit of foliage to blocks them in the way, so that's not great either. So I reckon there's a bit of traffic management work they could do here, but since when did government respond to what's needed? Not often. Anyway, this should be a fairly steady shot. I bet you it's a hell of a lot better than the footage I shot on the push bike I used to have. Having 3 wheels makes it a bit more stable too. So and there's Parramatta Park across the road there, the sports ground, the show ground. It's almost home. And it's quite a nice walk back home if you're walking, but I'd used the trike the last 2 days, decided it's very convenient. And I've got a bit of shopping in the back as well. At least I hope I've still got the shopping in the back. Yeah, I do. And just parked next to this monster people mover that's parked next to my spot. That's the other thing, my spot's been intact. No one's tried to take it since I've actually parked here. It's worked beautifully, which is good. So I've asserted my sovereignty when it comes to car parking. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.